आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड इन पार्टनरशिप विद सीएनबीसी आवाज प्रेजेंट्स उड़ान क्राइस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी में, यानी कि आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में। उड़ान एक जर्नी है ग्रोथ की, फिर चाहे वो प्रोफेशनल हो, पर्सनल हो या फिर पर्पसफुल हो। आज हम उन आइडियाज की बात करने वाले हैं जो कि आपकी लाइफ और साथ में जो आपका करियर है उनको हो सकता है कि अच्छी और नई डायरेक्शन दे। हम बातचीत करने वाले हैं बिल्डिंग अ फ्यूचर दैट वर्क्स फॉर यू, और इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को लीड करेंगे सीएनबीसी आवाज से विपिन भट्ट, और उनके साथ स्टेज पर है एक विजनरी लीडर जो होम हेल्थ केयर इंडस्ट्री में रेवोल्यूशन लेके आए हैं, मिस्टर वैभव तिवारी, co-founder and CEO Pochia Medical. So let's welcome them both with big round of applause.
Whether sir to start with, पोटिया शायद इस रूम में काफ़ी लोगों को पता भी हो ना भी हो, इट्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ अ सर्विस। तो पहले मैं थोड़ा सा पोटिया के बारे में जानना चाहूँगा।
So Potia started around 12 years back, and the whole idea was to look at outside the hospital healthcare requirements and take care of those. And जो world class healthcare hospitals provide कर रहे हैं इंडिया में, क्या वही level का healthcare services हम patients को provide कर सकते हैं उनके घर में? And that's what Potia is all about. So आपको घर में as complicated as setting up an ICU at home. So a lot of patients either end of life care or for the rehabilitation, they may discharge from the hospital ICU, will set up a ICU at home for you with full ventilator, bed, doctor, nurses, everything. As complicated as that to as simple as picking up a blood sample if somebody wants a health check. The full range of services, nursing, physiotherapy, medical equipment, every healthcare service which can be done at home is what we provide. We are present in 132 cities now across the country. Work with almost all the large hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, corporate insurance companies. And this is one area which we in some ways has got organized after we started around 12 years back.
So starting from your early days, do you think that, do you have any kind of a clarity in your vision that I want to do this, I want to do a job, I want to join a multinational company, or I just want to do my something own? Because in those days, I think startup word is not there.
Correct. And I think many times you will not know the next step of the journey because market changes very fast. Situation changes very fast. I mean, I always talk of 90s, at least when we were growing up. Satellite TV was a big thing. Then internet became a big thing. Mobile phone became a big thing. Today, everything has got so personalized now. So another 5 years, how life will be, you will not know. But basic fundamentals of how to handle life, how to handle situations, how to provide solutions, as you are saying, that is something which you learn in your college. You get the structure on how to think and how to solve problems. I think that's what a good college gives you. That's what a Christ college gives to you guys. And that's something which you should, every problem you see in your current scenario, you should try to solve it. What the biggest thing you will learn on how to solve problems, how to give solutions. That's something which is very important. So I would say being close to the ground, being close to the customers has been the one thing which has worked very well for us.
At last, any word of advice? आपने काफ़ी कुछ बता दिया वैसे तो, सारी बातें हो गई, but any word from your side?
I have two advices for all of you. One is that you should always do what you enjoy. I think the societal pressure and everything else, and that's good you are on that side. I wish I was on that side, I'm on this side, and I wish somebody told me at that time. Saying that, okay, you do what you really enjoy because you'll be successful in what you enjoy doing. Correct? We always say this, Tendulkar was a good bowler, but he was a great batsman. If he only focused all his skills in bowling, he wouldn't have been so well known, correct? You always play by your strengths, correct? And do what you really, really enjoy. And as he said, be fearless. What can go wrong for somebody like you? What really can go wrong? What will go wrong will be a temporary setback only. So if you don't really push your boundaries and test yourself, how will you ever know where you can go? So do what you enjoy and push your boundaries and take risk. I think those are the things which I would say are my giveaways to all of you.
Thank you, Vaibhav. This is indeed a word of advice, and I think everybody will benefit from these things. And all the best for all of you. We have more sessions like this going forward, but thank you, Vaibhav.
My pleasure.
तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, और यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड के एक्सपर्ट्स अब हमें बताने वाले हैं कि किस तरीके से छोटी और जो साथ ही साथ कंसिस्टेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट है उससे हम अपनी लॉन्ग टर्म ग्रोथ को बिल्ड कर सकते हैं। इसी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए प्लीज वेलकम मिस्टर सिद्धार्थ दास, जोनल हेड यूटीआई म्यूचुअल फंड।
Udaan is a very, very pertinent topic that we have. Udaan, all of you are ready to take flight, which means you are ready to go for the Udaan. And the topic is Taiyari Kal Ki, which is preparation for tomorrow. So my presentation or my topic is on that. It is called FIRE. This is a simplistic acronym for financial independence, retire early. But what is important is, apart from the acronym, what is important is the steps that we need to do. जो steps हमें लेने हैं इसमें successful होने के लिए, correct? Because those executable steps are the most important part to reach your goal, okay? Education empowers you and gives you means. Means for what? It may be to start a business and prepares you for employment, right? Your education is preparing you, giving you the means to follow a passion, do a profession, start up a business, and be ready for employment. Now, what are the passions you may have? You may want to get into photography, you may want to get into sports, you may want to get into arts like, you know, fashion designing, you may choose to become an architect, a doctor, or a lawyer. You may want to get employment in like what we do. We are all marketing, sales professionals. So this is the basis of your education should take you to one or more of these particular, you know, segments. So if you look at wealth creation, now wealth creation is actually a very simple, you know, it's a very simple process. How many people have the discipline to invest every month for a long period of time and let it be, right? So that's where all of us need to get this thing in the essence that financial investments, creating wealth is actually a very long-term process, and it requires a large degree of discipline with each one of us, right? So we know the compounding interest formula. Final amount is 1 plus r by t raised to 1 plus r by 100 raised to power t, correct? R is the rate of return, t is the time which is there. So what is the factor that we have under our control is the time. The third factor which one has to keep into mind while generating your corpus is that of inflation, because inflation is something that eats away your investments, right? If you had, anybody seen these coins, 5 paise, 10 paise, 20 paise? You've seen? Sure, good. So lucky that you've seen, because I think these are out of circulation by now, and even these ones will be out of circulation quite in the near future. So these are some of the necessities that we had: a TV, a camera, a phone, and a fan. This has now evolved in our lifestyle to much, much more high-tech products which cost more, correct? And this is where inflation of lifestyle is also important. Inflation in terms of the real inflation of the economy, which reduces the value of your money, but also in terms of lifestyle, that is further adding up to the inflation. Key takeaways: beat inflation, invest in growth assets, okay? So if you have to beat inflation, you have to take care that you are not putting your money into assets which are deflationary. You have to invest in assets which are growing. You have to start, you can invest from as low as 500 rupees a month, but what is important is that you should make a meaningful corpus so that the compounding value of that corpus goes up. Invest early. All of you are getting into your, you know, final placements or and will be starting your careers very, very soon. Please ensure that you take the step as early as possible to start your investments to build meaningful corpus. Idle money earns nothing. Idle money earns nothing. Money can earn money. Give it time, give it the power of compounding. Achieve your goals with a systematic investment plan, which is called an SIP. Liquidity matters. You should always have corpus which is easy to manage, easy to sell, easy to use. There are lots of investment classes in the markets, but what is important is that what is in your control, what is it that you can easily access on your own. Power of compounding, as I mentioned, the earth wonder of the world. So thank you for being a patient audience, and all the very best to all of you in your future.
मिस्टर दास, आपको वापस से एक बार स्टेज पे आना पड़ेगा बिकॉज जो हमारा Q&A सेशन है वो हम आपके साथ आगे बढ़ाना चाहेंगे और साथ ही साथ आई वुड लाइक टू वेलकम मिस्टर नितिन जैन, फंड मैनेजर UTI म्यूचुअल फंड फॉर दिस इंटरेक्टिव सेशन. सबसे पहले संकल्प.
So we are all young workforce who's going to join very soon, and we wanted to know how can we strike the balance between aggressive saving as well as spending guilt-free.
Yeah, I think one should not increase the lifestyle significantly once you get a job, because you will see your peers, your seniors using certain things, certain gadgets. So you should not try to match their lifestyle. You should have your own financial discipline, how much you want to save, how much you want to spend. So don't come under peer pressure or looking at seniors, what they are using. So have your own lifestyle and take it, basically pace it gradually.
I think one of the fundamentals of investing is goal-based investing, okay? So one needs to identify the goals that one has in the near, medium and long term. So you may have a goal to, let's say in the medium term, have a foreign trip, okay? You may have a medium to long term goal of buying a asset like a house, okay? So goal based investing will be sort of a balance between investing and also look at what your aspirations are in terms of spending. But yes, things like discretionary spending on devices which may not be really prudent in a short term is something that you can always keep at the back of the mind. But once you have goal based investing as your first step towards investing to meet an aspirational goal, I think you are taking an informed decision. What is it that I should be investing to meet my goal in the near, medium and the long term?
So you talked about how we need to maintain discipline in our investments. We need to start early. What is another big mistake that young people like us would make that can affect us long term?
The most important thing is the choice of the asset class where you are investing. As he had shown in the presentation, you have to beat the inflation. If you're investing in a bond or fixed income at your age, while you're starting the career, that won't be the right choice for you. So you have to go for a higher growth kind of an option. So the choice of the asset you are investing in.
What is important, I think, is whenever you are investing, always understand fully the product that you are investing in. Never go for a product which you do not have full knowledge of. So fundamentals of investing is start as early, be as regular, stay as long term, and always invest in products in which you have full knowledge on. Do not try and get into asset classes or products where the knowledge or the understanding of the product and how it operates is not very clear to you or you're not very confident of.
तो चलिए इसी इनोवेशन और इसी आइडिया के साथ इस सेशन की शुरुआत करते हैं और आगे बढ़ाते हैं इस डिस्कशन को. और इस डिस्कशन को लीड करेंगे अगेन CNBC आवाज से विपिन भट्ट और उनके साथ है दो अमेजिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जो रीडिफाइन कर रहे हैं बिजनेस और साथ ही साथ सस्टेनेबिलिटी को. प्लीज वेलकम सहर मंसूर, फाउंडर एंड CEO ऑफ बेयर नेसेसिटीज, एंड यामिनी भट्ट, फाउंडर वाइमो.
यामिनी, फर्स्ट यू. आप एक अच्छे कॉर्पोरेट जॉब में थे, आई थिंक यू आर विद मैकेंजी, और उसको छोड़ के वाइमो स्टार्ट करना, व्हाई? What inspire you or what make you to start your own journey and living a job at McKinsey?
There was always a itch to do something about things that I saw were not working perfectly, whether it was the elevator of a building or whether it was, and in consulting you get a lot of opportunity. I think it's a great idea for people to actually start with a job and then consider, because you really don't know what you're walking into. Yeah, knowing everything about this, knowing not everything, but knowing a lot about the space I got into, there was still a lot I learned along the way. Today, if I reflect in 12 years of the journey, I think what I knew was less than 1% of what I know today about it, or even 3 years later, what I learned about it, right? Customers still found it tough to implement some of the things we were saying because technology did not enable them to do that. And that's how Wimo was started, with the goal of building sales technology that helps make some behaviors stick on an ongoing basis.
When it comes to the business, आपको बैलेंस शीट क्रिएट करनी है, जहाँ प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी दिखनी चाहिए, तभी आपके पास इन्वेस्टर्स आएंगे, तभी आपको सीड मनी मिलेगा. कितना डिफिकल्ट था ये?
Yeah. I'm completely self-taught. You know,
Okay.
I took a few business courses in college, but I was largely studying environmental economics and environmental law in Cambridge. So I was completely humanities, kind of, if you have to put me in a bucket, I'm an arts kid or humanities kid. So yes, I learned, I went to INSEAD, I did a executive course there. I watched a bunch of videos, there's access to so much knowledge now. So really leveraged all of that. Started very simple and small, basic Excel, what are my expenses, how much am I making, what am I left with. Started really, really basic, and then kind of obviously have evolved my business model since. But it's a lot to learn on the job, but that's what entrepreneurship is. You just kind of swim right in and jump into the deep end and then just swim.
Thank you very much. It's really nice talking to both of you.
तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, और जो हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन है वो फोकस करेंगे एक काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक पर, कि किस तरीके से आप बैलेंस करके चल सकते हैं, बिकॉज लाइफ में बैलेंस करना काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है. इस एनरिचिंग डिस्कशन के लिए हमारे साथ है डॉक्टर सत्या सीलन, प्रोफेसर एंड एसोसिएट डीन, स्कूल ऑफ बिजनेस एंड मैनेजमेंट, डॉक्टर मरीना मैथ्यू, प्रोफेसर, स्कूल ऑफ बिजनेस एंड मैनेजमेंट, and Professor Krishna, Finance and Accounting, School of Business and Management. Let's welcome our professor and Vipin ji with warm round of applause.
It's very important to strike a balance between happiness and earnings. What do you say? क्या कर सकते हैं बच्चे की वो चीज़ मिस ना हो जाए, because we are now in 2025, the world is entirely changed. We are in the world of social media, reels, etc. A lot of troubles on a mental level. These kind of issues are rising day by day. Earning also is not that easy, which was some few years back. But how to keep a balance between earning right and be happy?
I think to be happy, we need certain things in our life. One important thing is that we need to have financial independence. So we cannot ignore money, ignore riches. We need to have our basic needs met, not just basic needs, a normal, decent, good life. That can vary from individual to individual, but money is an important part, but money cannot buy joy or happiness, which we see from stories of lots of people who have got a lot of money but then not happy in life. So it's important that we have to have a balance. It's important to have an education around it also. So keeping a balance between all these, that balanced mindset will keep us happy. That's what I feel.
Professor Krishna, I think आपको कई सालों से you went through many batches जहाँ बच्चे बदलते गए लगातार. What is the difference you notice? क्या change आ रहा है with every passing year? The generation is getting newer. क्या change हुआ है, उसमें क्या अच्छा है और क्या है जो शायद उतना अच्छा नहीं है लेकिन उसे correct करना चाहिए?
I think there is something that has stayed along, right? They're all very curious. They really want to understand things. They're very passionate about what they want to do in life. Those kind of things. They're very passionate. Somewhere over a period of time, we found that they're a little skeptical about what is in store for them, right? They're confident about what they know, but when it comes to what is in store for them, they're a little skeptical. That is number one. Second one, I think, is the current world gives you a lot of options. In the past, probably maybe 10 batches before, versus now, from a normal normal mobile to a smartphone kind of a change that we have seen, right? There are a lot of things that are available. They are spoiled by choices, if I can mention. I think those are the two important things that I have very clearly seen. But I think the underlying thing is they're all very curious. They want to really understand. They want to grow well and very positive in their attitude.
It's important to be positive, and that is important. Dr. Satyaseelan, again, with your experience, I want to ask this thing. Over the years, you saw so many students. What is one or two factors which differentiate between a successful person and one who is not that successful? I'm talking in terms of overall success, not just making the money.
I think one biggest difference is the willingness to stay in the game. I think many speakers spoke about it on the resilience. I think get up, dress up, and show up. So very often, success is not so much about doing great things once in a while. It is showing up every day. So I think really that is what I would say differentiates between who's good and who's not good in the long run. I think that willingness to get up, I think keep pushing every day. I think that makes a huge difference, because if you really go even from a spiritual perspective, many people talked about it, that I mean, there is going to be stress and there is going to be problem in life. I don't think that we can wake up any day, and if you really believe the Buddhist thought, our very existence is stress. So therefore, stress is a given at any point of time. The only is how do we deal with it? And therefore, that mindset of staying in the game, keep on pushing it every day, I think that makes a huge difference. I think coming back to our own MBA program, we know that we don't make it easy for the students when it comes to course curriculum, the events. I think it's very, very hectic, but I think the ones who succeed are the ones who take everything and still remain positive and have that energy to move on each day. So that's really what I would say makes a huge difference, that willingness to stay in the game.
So thank you very much, और आप तीनों को भी बहुत धन्यवाद.
इसी के साथ हम आज के UTI म्यूचुअल फंड इन पार्टनरशिप विद CNBC आवाज प्रेजेंट सेशन के एंड पर आ गए हैं. बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल द स्पीकर, ऑडियंस और हमारे पार्टनर UTI म्यूचुअल फंड को, जिनके सपोर्ट से ये इवेंट जो है वो इतना ज़्यादा इंस्पायरिंग और साथ ही साथ मीनिंगफुल बना है. So let's keep discovering, driving and delivering, not just for success, but growth that truly lasts. Thank you so much for joining us today.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है. योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.